Hello and welcome to this video where we discuss about Duet AI Playbook for data analysts and how Duet AI can help assist data analysts. So first of all, we start off with enabling the APIs and setting up the project ID and the region variables. So we run the gcloud config get value project and get value account to set up the user account variable as well. Then I enable the Google Cloud AI Companion API and then add the IAM policies required to enable the API. I'll share these commands as a link in the description, so you'll get all the details about the command and the prompts that we use for this exercise. So let's get started. The next step would be to create a Python notebook, and then we'll work with the data. So I will go ahead and open BigQuery Studio. Let's minimize the Cloud Shell. So I'll create a data set here and name it e-commerce and set the locations. So here we click on the three dots, create dataset. I'll type in the dataset ID and then here we are with the dataset, and we will enable the code completion here as well. We also enable the Duet AI API. Now I'll just query how do I get started with BigQuery, assuming I do not know anything and want to start from scratch. So all the steps that we are going to do and did already to create a dataset ID are given. Further, we can ask questions like what are the benefits of using BigQuery for data analysis, and we have those responses. So and if you want to ask how does BigQuery handle auto scaling for queries, you get the responses, and all these responses have commands as well as reference documentations and also related content available in the internet. So you do not have to step out to external websites to get this information. You get everything contained in your Duet AI prompt, so you save time and you're more efficient when you're working as a data analyst on Google Cloud Platform and using Duet AI as a companion. Now, how do I learn which datasets and tables are available to me in BigQuery? Then it gives me BQLS command line tools, which I can directly use on the Cloud Shell and get the responses. So if I just click on this icon, it copies that command to Cloud Shell, and here we are. We can run the command and see the data set that we created here. So it makes life easier because one cannot remember all the commands or know all the facts that are available about a certain technology. So having a AI companion alongside is very helpful. Now, say for example, I want to type in a certain SQL query and want Duet AI to explain me what it means. So I can just click on the Duet AI icon and it explains me the intent of the Google SQL query for me. So very useful. So we know exactly what each query does, and we can even ask for suggestions to improve or modify the query that was mentioned here. So now I'll just clear it off and put a comment over there. The comment says select the sum of the sale price by date and product ID created today. So it gives me the BQ query for doing just that. as a response to that comment, and here you can see the response comes out as a table when I execute that query. Very useful for data analysts. One can write in natural language and get the response as queries, and then those big queries when executed give you the responses. Now here, say for example, this is another query, and I go on and ask Duet AI to explain the intent of this query. So again I get the response. Okay, this query is to create a time series forecasting model using the ARIMA plus algorithm. This model will be trained on the total sales column. So when we execute this query, it'll do just that. It'll create the model. This will take some time, so I'll just meanwhile ask what is a ARIMA plus model type, and it gives me the response that it is type of time series forecasting model that is used to predict future values based on the past values. So very useful. You can have this companion alongside even when you're doing these kind of not so common use cases, and it can give you detailed data along with citations and further references to help you understand and do better when you are working alongside BQML. So this is going to take a while, so we'll just wait for the execution to complete and the model to get created. Now this process will take a bit of time, so I'll just wait for a while and have the model created, and once the model is done, we'll do a few more steps which you'll see. Now the sales forecasting model has been successfully created, which you can see here. The model ID is appearing, model type ARIMA plus, and so on. So now that this is done, we can go ahead and try out with Duet AI that how can I get a forecast in SQL from this model. So it gives me the SQL query to do just that, and also the references which we can read and follow. So I'll just paste that query and set the project ID and the other details to make it work. So I'll replace the values with the correct ones. So here we are. Now we execute the SQL query, and here we get as a response the forecast timestamp, the project ID, the forecast values, standard errors, confidence levels of that prediction, and so on. So that is how we use Duet AI in order to help data analysis. Thank you.